Okay, first things first, I want to try to get to this. You got your 10mm bolt that goes into the casting of the rod, set at 15 foot-pounds. So what you would normally do is you would, and I like to go back and forth. I see a lot of people do one and then the other. That's just not how I was taught how to build engines. So I like to do back and forth until I get a nice even clamp. So we're gonna go back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna torque this fastener to 15 foot-pounds, which is the beginning of the process to do the factory rod bolt torque sequence. There's another individual on YouTube who has a video that's very helpful, you know, for the home mechanic, home wrencher, where you can do fasteners at torque to angle purely by using the flats on a 6-point nut or bolt head. Just real quick, I want to run through this. All right, let's say a lot of cars, especially modern foreign cars, have a torque spec that starts with a foot-pound or a Newton meter. So you're going to have a starting point for your torque spec. Then you're going to have a degrees of rotation. Finish your initial torque portion of your procedure. When you look at your bolt head, each one of these flats equals 60 degrees. Okay, now think about that real quick. There's 6 sides on this head. 60 times 6 is 360 degrees. If you have to do 90 degrees, let's say a real common thing that you see people have to do is X amount of torque, whether it be foot-pound or Newton meters, plus 90 degrees of rotation, or a multiple of 90, because they may have to do 90 degrees of rotation more than once. Okay guys, I have the bolts initially torqued to 15 foot-pounds, where you can identify 85 degrees of rotation by using these flats on this fastener. So here's what I wanted to show you guys. We know we need to go 85 degrees. Okay, so you're asking yourself, okay, following your hack or your tip, we know that one of these flats is 60. Half of one of those flats is 90. I'm going to put this on here with the tape, and I'm going to mark the dots exactly how I explained. Okay, I got you guys zoomed in so you can see what I'm trying to explain. So basically what I've done is I've created 2 reference marks. Okay, when I put my socket on here, I have my reference. I have a line on my socket, and I have a line on my work surface. And if you stand to the right of me, these things line up perfect. I went ahead and marked a reference line that is 90 degrees from my reference, so that I can identify half of 60, so I can find my 85 degrees. Remembering each flat is 60 degrees, and I hate to keep, you know, harping on that, but if anybody, you know, wasn't paying attention before, or maybe joined the video late or whatever, this is what we're looking at. If I move this mark and rotate this socket 1 flat, and then bring that mark back around to here, that is 60 degrees. Okay, I hope everybody understands. As I stated in the beginning of the video, you're only supposed to go 85 degrees. So if you go beyond 85, then your test isn't very accurate, is it? An angle gauge that you use to set your pinion. I literally use this to identify 5 degrees of rotation. I was able to locate on the fastener 85 degrees. This second fatter line right there, that is 85 degrees. I'm going to put my socket on here with my reference line to here. Okay, so I'm going to go back one flat. By going back one flat, all I got to do is bring the line that's now over here to my 85-degree mark, and that should be a properly torqued LS rod bolt. I have this thing set up with all of our reference marks. We've located what will be our 85-degree of rotation. Take my socket, move it back one flat. So when this line gets to here, that's 60 degrees. When it gets to here, that'll be 85 degrees. Take this one step further. I'm gonna start turning this. So right there, we are barely at 35 foot-pounds. 60 degrees of rotation right there. Some of you guys don't know how these work. They have a tension beam that runs down to a scale, and as you put tension or torque on this tool, clockwise or counterclockwise, you get a torque reading. You get how much torque it takes to do the fastener. Do not use breakaway torque readings to validate, estimate, or try to figure out this fastener torque, because even when I get done with this thing and its final torque, it would only take 35 foot-pounds to break that fastener loose. I'm just going to go ahead and get this done so this video ain't 100 years long. I'm going to bring that round to 85 degrees, dead on 50 pounds. I am right on that point. That is 85 degrees. Go back to the conversation I had with the engineer that says, once this fastener is torqued to the original, specification, that bolt will never return to its original length. Therefore, going 15 foot-pounds plus 85 will never give you the clamping force that the engineer intended. Okay? Well, in my test, I'm thinking, okay, how much more than 50 pounds would they have originally ever needed? Sloppy Mechanics, with his really expensive torque wrench, he says it's between 51 and 53 foot-pounds when he hits the 85 plus the initial 15 torque. Clicker torque wrench right now is set at 50 foot-pounds, okay? So even my clicker is showing 50 foot-pounds, where the beam style is showing right at 50 foot-pounds, and I was at my 85 degrees of rotation. I'm going to contend that 50 foot-pounds is all you're going to need if you have an accurate torque wrench. Okay, I can't stress that enough. You have to have an accurate torque wrench if you're going to try this method. Now keep in mind, I am not a GM engineer. I am not a structural metallurgist, engineer of any kind. I'm just trying to validate how much torque that fastener provides following the 15 foot-pounds plus 85 degrees of rotation. Part of the problem people have when they put in the ARP rod bolts, don't have them re-honed for roundness. What happens is, when you put an ARP bolt in your rod, plus the lube, because they always recommend you use their lube, their fastener will clamp this together harder. God forbid you would put an ARP bolt in this rod and try to do a 15 plus 85 degree rotation. That ARP bolt is so much stronger and stretches less that if you do that, it's going to clamp the living bejesus out of this cap to this rod body, And that's where it's getting the weird wear patterns on the rod bearing, because the clamp force is increased, therefore slightly distorting the bore of your big end of your connecting rod. I've seen people do what I'm doing, verifying the torque required to replicate the factory installation, and they're putting ARP rod bolts in factory rods with only a slight dab, just a little dab of engine oil on the threads, and torquing them to 50 to 53 foot-pounds. I'm just your basic, shade tree mechanic who was curious and wanted to see what kind of torque it requires to get that fastener to replicate the factory 85 degrees past 15 foot-pounds. I highly encourage you guys, go out, find you a way. If you don't have a vise, find a way to secure a rod and play with it. Find out. Mark yourself. If you have an angle gauge, that's even better. Do your 15 degrees plus 85 and then use your torque wrench, see what you get. I mean, it seems simple, and there's a lot of people, both on YouTube and off, that are torquing these rod bolts to between 50 and 53 foot-pounds and putting 1,000 horsepower to the tire. So when you look at it in a more outside of the box or a more comprehensive understanding of the fastener, how it works, the material it's made out of, you're probably, I'm just going to say in my own opinion, you're probably going to be more consistent in your clamp load using a torque spec after that first installation. So that's just my opinion. I know you guys sometimes get a little excited with me, but that's my opinion. Beyond that initial factory installation or first torquing of the technician in the repair shops or whatever, beyond that first application, you're going to be more accurate and have a more consistent clamp load with a torque spec. Now, I do recommend that you use a 3-stage torque spec. So if you're going to use 50 to 53 foot-pounds as your final torque spec, 2 things. Do it in 3 stages. So you might start out with a 15, then go up to a 30 or however you want to split it, then do your final torque at 50 to 53 foot-pounds. Do not put high friction modifiers. Do not put your moly lubes, your high friction modified assembly lubes, your ARP bolt lube. Don't put those lubes on these bolts before you use your torque spec installation or torque to angle installation, because it's going to tighten the fastener tighter than it's supposed to be. I just, can't stress that enough. Let's just think through this process in a normal, controlled fashion where we can test things, validate our results, and try to share them with others. So I wanted to share it with you because it had been driving me crazy, because I don't own a torque to angle gauge or meter. Bought a cheap one at Advanced Auto Parts. Huge mistake because it was a piece of junk. I took it back the same day. So anyway, that is my findings on how to re-torque or re-tighten LS engine rod bolts that I feel is going to give you the most consistent torque spec and clamping force. So thanks again for watching my channel. If you guys have any questions, please hit me up in the comments. Try not to be hateful. I'm trying to be as helpful as I can to all the viewers or anyone who's interested in building these LS engines. And I just want to share all the information I have as much as I can. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. I appreciate it.